I want you to go ahead and ask me those questions. Let's just a moment, please. Go ahead and ask me the questions, please.
Thank you very much for this great opportunity. Do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Thank you very much for this great opportunity to be here with you, man of God. Thank you for the great work that you are doing. I am here to support your move as international the international minister. I see you have a reverse book. Where did you get the marketing of the book that you are selling?
Okay, so long story short, because yes, we're pressed for time, and I'm gonna just do the best that I can. I was able to save up my money, and my first book, I got ripped off, man of God. So I don't want people to buy that first book. I don't even, you know, I don't even want people to even know about that first book because um, the publisher, all they cared about was the money. I paid $3,000 for publishing and editing, and all they did was publish the book. They didn't edit my first book, and that was back in 2010. So I got very discouraged by that. I couldn't hire no attorney because my finances was limited, and so the Lord put it in my heart to look for another company. And at the time, it was called Create Space, but now it's called Kindle Direct Publishing. But anyhow, this is my revised book, and it's called The
Amen.
Solution for Black America: Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, second edition. I'm going to provide the link in the below this video podcast in the comment section. Also, I'm going to provide all the links to my business links to my crowdfunding sites, such as our GoFundMe page as well as our PayPal page. That's going to also be in the comment section below this video podcast to make it easier for my viewers.
Amen. Second question, I see you are doing great. Thank you for your explanation about the book, how you are doing. You're doing the tremendous work to build people, to build the mindset of the people, to have people the courage to understand what you are doing. And I'm very much overjoyed. And I beg the Black America that they are allocated on your country to support your vision, to support you, so that you can reach a lot of people to understand, to have an integrity, how they can bear one another, how they can go ahead by their vision. So thank you very much on the side of the book. So I see your vision. Second question, I see your vision is that the desire of your heart is to bring Black America to work in unit, to work in one accord, without division, without seeing each other. They cannot do it. So I I look on the coming on the coming government. It speaks about those immigration for the Black American that they are in your country accidentally. You as a leader that the Lord have been chosen to uphold to unite the Black America. What do you have on your mind so that the state they might understand that you are on the ground? That's my question, man of God.
I need to go back before I answer your question. I need to encourage all of my listeners that's watching this Zoom conference. Um, all all I'm asking you to do is I have this book available in two forms. I have it available as an ebook for $9.99. Please just download it to your smartphone and you can read the book on your smartphone. It's also available as a soft cover book or paperback, and that's for $15 plus shipping and handling. Again, this is the foundation of my Christian business. Now, as it pertains to, Trump's mass deportation of illegal immigrants, I am for that, man of God. That's very important because we welcome immigrants that come over here legally, but the ones that's coming over here illegally, because I talk about that in a lot of my past shows, but basically that hurts Black Americans. It hurts Black Americans because, for example, I live here in the city of Chicago. And in Chicago, this is a Democrat stronghold. So white supremacy is, call it the white supremacist financial elites. They created both political parties, the Democrats and the Republicans. The Democrat or the white supremacist financial elites for the Democrats are known as they're the globalists, and and that's on the left, and the white supremacist financial elites on the right, which are the Republicans, are the nationalists, and that's what Trump falls under. He's under them, and so either way it goes is a bad situation. But at least under the Republicans, it helps because they're going to shut down that border because the globalists, white supremacist financial elites, they want the illegal immigrants to come here to basically flood the zone, basically take resources from Black Americans. I've been telling Black Americans this for the longest. All they did was sit up here and laugh and took me for joke. And now what I've been talking about, and I wrote that in the book as well. I said that the Latinos, their group, they're going to fight for them to become legal citizens. But Black Americans, a majority of us have that slave mentality. Also, a lot of, I would say Black Americans don't want to work with the African immigrant community. That's how come, our community, which is the African American community and the African immigrant community, are separated. I want to bring us together, but I want to connect with like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants here in America. I want to reach out to African immigrants from 10 African nations: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. For those that's here in America to first, read my story. Read my story for yourself, and if you agree, contact me. I provide my email address in there. I want to be able to have them to come on this podcast, so that way we can get more people involved. Man of God, I've been pushing my vision for the past 33 years. It's extremely frustrating. I don't like what I'm going through because unfortunately I'm unable to reach my own, which is Black Americans. This is why I'm reaching out to African immigrants, those that standing on business. Also, I want to connect with like-minded Black Americans that's standing on business. All I want you to do is read my story first and foremost. If you agree, then work with me, help turn my vision into a reality by donating to the film project. That's what I'm trying to promote. I'm trying to raise $250,000 to make a quality Black empowerment film based on my experience. Also, I want to mention, since I'm talking about that, we have a virtual store. I sell, t-shirts. See right here? I sell this. I sell beach towels. I sell coffee mugs, etc., in order to generate capital to get my Christian business up and running. Now, I have been paying for my Christian business since 2010. You know what I'm saying? Out of pocket. And at that time, I was looking for, I was trying to make it to be a for-profit type of business, but unfortunately, I was unable to get investors. So 2019, I decided to scrap the for-profit type of business and to focus on the nonprofit. It's still going to be a for-profit too once I able to build this thing up. But right now, in 2010, that's when I've been focusing on as a nonprofit. And also I encourage Black Americans that was on my friends list on my Facebook page, to help donate to the film project. Man of God, out of 2,000 people that was on my main Facebook page before some hacker decided to shut me down, but that's fine. Only one person donated to the film project, and that was back in October 10th. That's when they shut me down. But I'm saying all this year, out of 2,000 people, only one person donated. So right there, that's a slap in the face, and that's a shame, and that's why I'm doing this video podcast to try to reach like-minded Black Americans, like-minded African immigrants that's serious. I'm not on here playing games. I'm trying to produce fruit. But again, man of God, God give us free will. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying my revised book. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from donating to the film project. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying items from the virtual store. That's a personal choice. I hope I answered your question, man of God.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I have another question.
Yes, sir.
About the film project.
Yes, sir.
I think you'll bear with me. I see you have a great vision. Printing t-shirts. Your book is looking awesome. You have done a great work. And I see you are alone. How have you done your strategy for the future? Because now the film project, it looks a bigger picture. How are you organize yourself there in Chicago, or how many team do you have that is assisting you doing this work, because it is a global picture?
And that's Sister Renee. But she prefers to be behind the scenes, so I respect her wishes. But it's just me and Sister Renee, and that's unfortunate. And I created my online groups. I had created them back in 1991, and I mean, truth be told, a lot of them are just on there just to be seen. A lot of people that I'm connecting with online, they're just here playing games. But man of God, what encouraged me is people like yourself. I'm glad that you accepted my friendship on Facebook. I'm glad that we're friends on my backup Facebook page, and that's the reason I'm able to connect with you. Again, I don't want to be doing this another 33 years at all. And my film project is my last attempt to try to do something constructive for my racial group, which is Black Americans, before I cut and run to Africa. But we got to get it popping here in America first, because God has placed it in my heart. Jesus/Joshua placed it in my heart to create the best, I would say, Christian business within the United States of America for credibility. So before I bring it to Africa, I got to make sure that the African American community and the African immigrant community, we can learn to work together as a team, and also heal, for Black Americans to heal from this slave mentality. Because I have a majority of my family members, they're not supporting me, man of God, too, because they have that slave mentality. They don't want to see me have a successful Black Christian business. And that's unfortunate. So that's what my film is going to be about. My family, the dysfunction that I came from. And I'm not going to let that affect me. And I'm not going to allow none of my members to have to endure this type of foolishness I went through. I want to be a blessing to parents. You don't have to live in the Black ghetto to be a part of this business, but I'm just saying, I want Black families, and I would say African families that's here in the United States, for us to work together, for us to build this Christian business, which is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. Our mission is to help eradicate urban violence in Chicago through art, culture, commerce, spiritual development, as well as hosting African and Caribbean tours. We're going to visit 10 African nations. I just mentioned them. And in each African nation, we want to set up local chapters. So since you're from Kenya, let me explain to you why it would be beneficial for Kenyans to be a part of this. Because first of all, and man of God, I back up everything I say, because I don't want people to just think that I'm talking, just to be expressing myself, just to be running off at the mouth. I provide facts. So I promote the gospel of truth with facts. That's why I tell people I encourage my listeners to go to my Medium page, and because I write out all my speeches. But anyhow, I want people to understand that Black Kenyans, for example, Black Americans alone, I would say as a collective, we have $1 trillion as a collective. But unfortunately, man of God, that only lasts, I'm going to say, about 6 hours in the Black community, because Black Americans patronize all these other groups. They don't patronize Black businesses. We have to encourage Black Americans to support Black businesses. That should be a given. But because of that slave mentality, they want to use that money to patronize all these other groups. And then when things happen to Black Americans, they want to march and protest and beg the descendants of slave owners for freedom, justice, and equality. And that's how come Black Americans is looked upon as a joke. I'm saying scrap all that. We have, in my Christian business, the Lord is calling me to raise the bar in Black America. So in my business, we're not going to have corruption. We're going to have protocol in place. So I want to make sure that I don't have any con artists in my business. Some of them may slip through the cracks, but we're going to catch them eventually. And there will be consequences. And I talk about that in the book. I'm not going to say all that. I don't have much time. We only have 40 minutes on this Zoom call. So anyway, man of God, all I'm trying to say is I would like for us to get it popping here in America first for credibility. So when I do come to, for example, Kenya, I would have people from Kenya that's already members from the African immigrant community that work with me, that knows me, and they're the ones that's going to vouch for my character and all that stuff. And the business is going to speak for itself. And this is what I want to be a part of my film. See, man of God, what's going to happen is once I start making money, then everybody's going to want to be a part of this. But I'm still going to raise those, the standards and say, hey, look, this is membership base. That's just how it is. So we want to screen people. I don't want everybody in this group just because they're melanated or Black. I want to make sure that we weed out, I would say again, con artists, hardened criminals, degenerates, pedophiles, urban terrorists, off-code Negroes, Democratic shills, the Black Boule. I want to weed those type of people out. And I only want people that want more out of life. And we will have street people in this business as well through our Second Chance program. I would say Black Americans that had that's ex-offenders for nonviolent crimes, former gang members, homeless individuals within the community. We will welcome them, but they will still be screened too, just like everybody else. And man of God, I want African immigrants, like I say, from the 10 African nations, but right now, since you're Kenyan, I want to focus on Kenya. What we're going to do for Kenya is we want to help improve your economy. We want to help bring tourism to Kenya. And we want to most of all, set up a local chapter in Kenya. And I want you to be a part of that. Also, man of God, once I get this Christian business up and running in America, I want to invite you and other African immigrants that have came on my show to come to the United States of America to preach at our live events. Because you've been on here before, so I appreciate that very much. A lot of people keep saying, well, how come you don't have men on your show? I'm like, have them on here. You just have to look through the archives. Please. Now, in Kenya, we want to focus on two areas. We want to focus on the, I would say, the urban areas in Kenya. Set the business up there because we want to make sure we have a strong a base, have our foot there. So we'll set up our, I would say, our for-profit type of business. And that's important. And that would be the for-profit business. That's where I'm going to make my bread and butter from, is that we're going to own and control our own, I would say, grocery store, our own and control our own healthcare clinic, and our own and control our own housing. That's how I'm going to make my money. So I want to make sure we started off in the urban areas, working with the working class Kenyans and the middle class Kenyans, okay? So we can generate capital. And then once we generate that capital, then we're going to go out and set up a chapter in the, I would say, the rural areas in Kenya. Right. Also, I want to bring the best of the diaspora, Black Americans, the best of them, and the smart and brave to help solve your major problems in exchange for citizenship, man of God. That's very important. That's my way of trying to help my people. Even though they sat up here and laughed at me and rejected me for the past 33 years, I can't sit up here and just, throw away what the Lord has laid in my heart to do. I'm like, okay, fine. You don't want to work with me? No problem. This is why my business is going to be membership based, man of God. Can't help everybody. And same thing in Kenya. If some of the Kenyans that's not interested in being a part of us, we'll pray for them. We will show them tough love and keep it moving. That's all. I'm only working with people that want more out of life. Now, in my Christian business, it's going to have 9 main components: a social service component, a spiritual component, which is going to be optional for secular people, a political component. We're going to teach our members the ins and outs of politics. And I am so proud, man of God, of the Black youth in Kenya, that took a stand against, the corruption, like your president. I'm just calling it the way I see it. They march and protest against, the high taxes. They're already struggling. So why are you going to tax people that don't have much money? So I'm grateful. I see that about Kenyans. They marched and protest against that. And so the president, he scaled back those taxes. So I'm proud of the young people in Kenya. But please, Kenyans, encourage Kenyans that's here in the United States of America to work with me to help speed up this process, because I can't reach Black Americans. I wish I could, but see what it is. They want to wait till I have that physical building, making money and, doing things in the community. I wish I can do that, but I'm unable to do that at this point in time because my resources is limited. And so this is where I'm at. All I have, again, is my revised book and my virtual store. And I'm trying to move from behind a computer, but now, like I say, my book is barely selling. My items on the virtual store is barely selling. And so I'm doing the best that I can. That's all I have. Now, Black American women, they raised $1 million, man of God, for Kamala Harris. $1 million on a Zoom call for 3 hours. And the problem with that is that woman been in office for 4 years. She hasn't done anything for the African American community. Here I am, been pushing my vision for the past 33 years. I'm standing on business, but I have little to no support. This is why I do I try to do a weekly video podcast. I want people to hear me loud and clear. And the reason I want to do this film project, because I want to reach the Black world, the Black masses, to say, hey, look, there's new ideas that's coming from the grassroots, the Black grassroots, from Emmanuel Barbee. But Emmanuel Barbee has standards. He's raising the bar. And again, I don't have any kids, that's another story. This world, as far as I'm concerned, this world don't deserve my seed, but I want to be a blessing to families, especially Black American families, to give them options. So that way they don't have to sit up here and be treated as third and fourth class citizens in a country that don't really care and value them, especially the ones that lives in the Black ghettos. I'm trying to help my people that's trapped in American ghettos. Starting in Chicago, I'm praying that my Christian business will be similar to like a McDonald's. It will become a international business, hope that it becomes a multi-million-dollar business so we can do things, not to just sit up here and run off at the mouth. I don't want that kind of stuff in my business. That's why I want to hire qualified Black middle-class professionals and qualified African immigrants that's here in America that's going to help me build this thing together and for us to replicate the business. But we want to get it, again, popping here in America first for credibility. Our time is almost up, man of God. I got a couple more things I need to say. And that is that this film project, like I say, this is what's going to really be a blessing for me because the proceeds from the film, that's what I'm going to use so I can purchase property here in the city of Chicago, buy office equipment, again, hire qualified Black middle class professionals, hire qualified African immigrants that's going to work with me, and that's going to be members of GCAM, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. We're going to serve on the west side of Chicago, Austin, Garfield Park, and North Lawndale, and eventually on the south side of Chicago, make our presence known and make Chicago a model. And man of God, I'm going to turn the business over. Once I feel that we have, once we have a strong standing here in America, because I want to make sure that I can sustain myself in Africa before I up and, relocate. And I want to make sure everybody knows who Sister Renee is, because I'm going to dedicate a local chapter for her in West Memphis, Arkansas, dedicated to her for her faithfulness, working with me behind the scenes for the past 12 years. I want everybody to know that that was awesome. And I'm praying to God that he would connect me with more people like Sister Renee. Man of God, so that way I don't be stagnant and be, still on first base. Again, this film project is very important. And I would like to share, my screen, but I'm having some problems with that. So all I can tell you all that's listening, please go to the comment section below this video podcast, and you would see the links. That's my credibility, and I stand on business. I do want to say that if you're an American citizen, if you donate through our PayPal page, you can use that as a tax write-off, because this is a legitimate 501c3 faith-based community advocacy organization. Okay, man of God. I'm sorry, I didn't even go through the rest of what I wanted to say. So yeah, we're going to have a political component. We're going to have an entrepreneur component. We want to teach our youth how to create their own businesses as a nonprofit, as well as a for-profit business, because I know how to do that. So those are the talents and skills that I know, and I want to teach that to our members and our students. We're also going to have an entertainment component. We want to promote here in America Black empowerment films. And our first film is called Hood Liberator, made in Chicago. The war against Willie Lynch begins, and that's based on my experience. All the stuff I went through when I used to do street ministry, I'm going to have that in that film. My upbringing, with the coming out of a dysfunctional family and all that kind of stuff, I didn't let that faze me. It was my faith in God, Jesus / Yahshua, and I'm standing on that. Okay, we're gonna have a Black grassroots media component. We're going to have number 7, a health and wellness component. Number 8, science and technology component. And number 9, travel and tourism component. So that's what I want to have all under one roof, man of God. We're going to have a green zone. That's going to be where we're going to help, the less fortunate people that's, I would say, trapped in American ghettos, that's trapped also in African slums or the rural areas. We're going to provide a food pantry to help feed them. We're going to teach them things and all that good stuff. And then we're going to have a red zone again where I'm going to make my bread and butter from. So we're going to have quality restaurants. We're going to also, for our members, we're going to have rental space for those that's doing a startup business. We're going to have armed security and cameras around our facility. Our facility is going to be, I would say, a multi-purpose facility. So we're not just going to focus just on religion alone. That's important. We're not going to just focus on the pie in the sky. We're going to focus on also solving our problems at the grassroots level within our power. We want to elect people from the Black grassroots, that knows us, that's part of us. That's got something to do with our political component. We want to put those people in office and not allow the white supremacist financial elites to put leaders in front of us like they did with Barack Obama. He's a Kenyan too, man of God, but unfortunately, he didn't do anything for Black Americans. And I lost a lot of respect for that man because he got up here and, was trying to put down Black men, telling them to vote for Kamala Harris, but he didn't tell any other man. He didn't tell the white man. He didn't tell the Latinos or Asian men that, wagging his finger at them. But he's going to wag his finger at Black Americans. And that's why a lot of Black Americans like myself said, let the Democrat Party crash and burn. And that's why they lost their election, because a lot of Black Americans set it out or voted or did a opposition vote against the Democrats. Because, man of God, we are demanding tangibles for our votes. We want lineage-based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves / freemen. That's what we're promoting over here. And an anti-Black hate crime bill. But that's all I can say, man of God. Looks like my time is running out. I thank you for doing this with me. Please, I'm going to send you a copy of this link so you can share it with your your followers, and pray, man of God, that I can get this film project fully funded and made, so that way I can move to the next level and move from behind the computer, because the devil doesn't want this business up and running in Black America or in Africa. But we're coming.